Greetings and welcome to the RC Wall Vacuum channel. Today's adventure involves this here box from Robin RC. So let's dig in and see what we got in here. Oh, we have an adapter kit. We'll come to that later. This is what we're after right here. Putty, whatever it is. Got instructions. It is crawler track for fifth scale vehicles. A lot bigger than I was anticipating. So the plan is that these are going to go on the Losi 5T 2.0 initially, and then the final destination is going to be on a center articulating quad track I'm working on designing right now. I'm just doing the CAD models for the center articulation oscillation section. I don't know if it's going to be an electric or a gas. I want to make it maybe gas, but so I wasn't clear on Robin's website. I believe these are probably made by Integy or someone like that and just distributed through Robin. I'm not really sure, but they definitely seem really durable. They're definitely heavy, and but I wasn't sure based on Robin's website for sure whether they're going to fit on the 2.0. They listed them for Losi 5T, but it also said for LT trucks, and LT trucks I assume are a copy of the 1.0 Losi 5T. And I don't know what the difference between the 5T 1.0 in the front versus the 2.0 actually is. They did show this parts kit is needed to be required to put it on their LT truck, but I wasn't clear for sure whether you needed one for the front and the back. I assumed it's just the front, so I got just the one kit. And I got tracks on my Polaris Ranger, and the front definitely goes on differently than the back. So I'm assuming this is the adapter kit for just the front. So I got 4 of them in here. That part I was able to figure out. But I assume too there's going to be some issue on the servos. It's definitely going to be a workout on the servos. But we'll see if I can turn our attention now to try to get these things installed. So I've got the parts all set out here. This Robin does, you can get this 87105 conversion kit off of Robin's site, and you only need one of them to do this conversion from what I can tell. But there is going to you have to do some minor modifications to some of these parts to get it to work, at least on the Losi 5T 2.0. I don't know about other vehicles. They don't supply any directions. Robin supplies no directions for that part number. Integy supplies this sort of copied sheet, which looks like it's going on to an HPI Baja or some sort of clone of theirs, but you can't really see what's going on there too well. So you better off just look at the parts and dick around until you get it to fit. They supply these tracks with these red collars on there. Let's flip over here. They supply these pins, which are the shaft pins that would normally go in here, but they don't fit the hole. They luckily they fit the hole in the axle. So you do gotta drill those holes out, and then to retain the pin in place, there is down in these axles on the 5T 2.0. There are set screws down in there that pinch. There's a web down there that's threaded, and they pinch the drive pin right in place. So that'll lock the pin in place, and I'm sure you could lock these set screws down in here. I don't know, let's keep at least that from sliding in and out. Well, no, I guess a pin would do that. So I don't know, but I'd like them done anyhow. So as far as the anti-rotation goes, the front looks probably the easiest to do right away. They supply these these outer spindles, and the only difference between the stock is they got these 2 holes here that the stock one does not have. and that's to mount presumably this block, and that block then through one of these devices here attaches to the shock, and that gives a little bit of a spacing on here. This is kind of a rough assembly of it right here. I think everything will clear, but I won't know until I assemble it. So to get these things out, there are set screws. You obviously got to pop that free and take in there are set screws inside of these holes on top and bottom, and loosen them up. Those kingpins drop out of there. Pull that assembly out, pop the bearings out, put the bearings over into this setup, and just reassemble it. And obviously when you put the kingpins in, they supply set screws in there. Lock them in place. And then over here on this end, you probably want to assemble the shock in this setup first and get it in place before you slide the track in there. And then obviously you got to drop the pin down through this assembly, bring it in the back, and tighten it up. Now the back seems a little more of an issue. So I had to dick around with these parts for a while to figure out what possibilities scenarios you get the thing to work. So this is the best I can tell for this. The rear part is set this L block they got in there, and then that in turn is going to mount to the front and this lower A arm on the rear. But the block they supply, that would go here, is actually a threaded 4mm, and I gotta go take it up to 5mm, so that'll have to be drilled and tapped out. And then the other issue is these this here, they got a countersink on this end. It's definitely not gonna go in there, so I gotta take and drill that out to that diameter so that this edge can come flush down onto this shoulder, and then obviously a shorter bolt, and then drill and tap that. So I'm going to try doing that stuff and see if that doesn't take care of the problem and gives a full anti-rotation, and all the clearances are going to be good on the track running around and not hitting the shock, wearing on stuff, ripping shit out. So we'll see how it's going to work, and my only concern would be that there's going to be a lot of strain over there on that one bolt. There's the anti-rotation aspect here. The front, my concern up here would be that this shock's going to rub up along this corner here. So I'm going to take care of some of these issues and start putting this together. So I got the track set on there now, and did the mods on the back that I showed. The front went on good. I mean, that seems correct with the angle of attack and everything, and nothing binds up, nothing's interfering up on the shock, on the track, or nothing like that I could see. The back one here, the angle of attack seems a little excessive, but I don't know, that may be alright. I've actually tried to put them in a mirrored fashion, so that faces out the back like that. That's how the Ranger is, and I know them tracks are on the right. But I don't think in this case that's what they're shooting for. I think they're shooting for the way this is. So I've tried multiple different iterations to try to get this thing to line up back here, and I only end up with the one setup. That's what I already showed that I had to do some mods to. So I may actually end up taking and building a new one of these and lengthen it out this way, a 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch, and that will lower that angle of attack down. But the bottom line is, this will be fine if you're just driving around on a flat surface. But where the problem's going to end up being, if you start trying to do some jumps with this Losi, and I'm going to demo here what I'm referring to. Stock body, front's probably all right. Obviously that would have to be altered, but once you start doing some jumps, you're definitely going to be up in the back no matter where you are, and I'm not even down all the way, so I'd have to modify the body. I'd have to modify it probably all the way up around here. Front would probably have to be modified. I'm not sure how much. Yeah, it's definitely going to run in there. So if you're doing jumps, that's not going to be feasible unless you modify the body specifically for that. Now I do have this Robin body for it, and Front's not a problem. The back would have to be dealt with and lop that off. So it's possible this body could be run. I think there's some of the roll cages in on that side there. So I may just get us make a dedicated body for this and since this one's already pretty beat up, maybe I make it this one the body. But I think what I end up doing is I'm going to pull them off of the Losi and I'm going to put them over here on this Rovin. Because here there ain't going to be any issue with clearance on the body anywhere, even if I was running a stock body. But this roll cage, and actually this thing would look pretty gnarly with the tube or the bar roll cage diamond plate with tracks on it. It probably wouldn't be a half bad look, and that maybe inspired me to put a new tailor in this thing and a new steering system in it. So that might be the next option. But just be forewarned, if you get these tracks for a 2.0, this would work fine if you just drive around in the snow. If you modify the body a little bit, if you start doing jumps, you have even bigger problems unless you fully modify the body. So unless someone out there has put these on before and is going to say, hey, no dumbass, that's not how they go on, barring that, I think I'm going to follow through what I just said. So thanks for watching.